Polyphony Digital's Gran Turismo Sport has been in development for quite a while. In fact, it was first confirmed to be in development since 2013, the same year that Gran Turismo 6 on the PS3 released. Since then, the development team has been working hard to intricately capture every single car, ensuring it's as realistic as possible. In fact, Polyphony CEO Kazunori Yamauchi was telling Finder how the game is actually over-specced for PS4 Pro. Yamauchi also dropped another interesting tidbit when he said it takes 6 months to create a single car. It's over-specced for PS4 Pro, so we are building for future versions of the console rather than the one we see today. When asked to clarify his comment, Yamauchi noted, "I think it would be no problem to run it at 8K even." Of course, there are many things one could infer, but the main takeaway is that Gran Turismo Sport is being built for the long haul. If it ever does re-release on a future Sony platform, whether it's the next PlayStation or another PS4 Pro-like upgrade, then it will still have enough graphical might to showcase. Gran Turismo Sport releases on October 17th for PS4. The Xbox One has not had the best time of late as far as perception among the gaming audience goes. There is at least some level of negativity there. However, at least one developer is now tired of every Xbox announcement being met with some level of backlash. Speaking to This Gen Gaming, Paul Norris of Madfellows, the folks who developed Aaero, noted that the console war is hell, and that he was glad to step away from it personally. "I am excited for the Xbox One X. I understand that people have criticisms, but to be completely honest, I'm tired of every announcement having a swath of negative backlash," he said. "The guys I play online with and watch E3 keynotes with decided long ago that we just get excited for stuff that look cool, and if we didn't like something, we just let it go. The console wars are hell, man. We're never going back there. The games they showed off, like Metro, look like a considerable jump in quality. I just need to save up enough to get one on launch day." It is important to know that Aaero is not an Xbox exclusive, so he really does not have any vested interest here. He's just noting his opinion that console wars can get tiresome, which is hard to not agree with. While we have a lot of problems with how Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo conduct themselves too, at the end of the day, we're just in this to play games. Arguing about the hardware those games run on seems to be missing the point. When Rockstar first brought Red Dead Redemption 2 to light, the most glaringly obvious omission was the lack of a PC release. The highly anticipated sequel is set to arrive for Xbox One and PS4 next year, but Rockstar and publisher Take-Two have been fairly mum on a PC release. During an earnings call, Take-Two president Karl Slatoff talked about the PC as a platform and how some releases are better suited for it than others. It really depends on the title. Some titles are actually heavily weighted to PC, for example, Civilization and XCOM, but some titles are less weighted to PC. The great news is that the PC market is vibrant for us. It's a great market, it's a big market, it's a core market. These are consumers who are highly engaged. It's a predominantly digital market which also removes friction in terms of ongoing engagement with the consumer. So for us, the PC market as a company is very important, very exciting, and something we focus on. Slatoff isn't wrong. The popularity of Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online for PC, followed by the passionate outcry of the community when mods were banned, indicates a dedicated fanbase. So isn't Red Dead Redemption 2 capitalizing on that when it launches? Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick was asked directly about the sequel's release for the platform and noted that any updates about any of our titles will come from our labels. This basically means that if there is to be a PC version, then Rockstar Games itself will be the one announcing it. Red Dead Redemption 2 was originally meant to release in 2017, but was delayed to spring 2018. There's a whole lot we don't know about the upcoming Death Stranding, the surreal new action game by Hideo Kojima that he's making in association with Sony. We've had 2 teasers for the game, but both were conceptual, and we don't know what the game will play like, or even what's it about outside of a larger aesthetic to it. That said, we do keep getting periodic updates in the game's development, thankfully, which clue us not just into how the game is coming along, but also what kinds of things we can expect from the finished product when it launches. Whenever it will launch, that is. Take this new video for the game, reveal that SIG-graph for instance. This video shows us the fog system that Kojima is employing for the game. It seems to be rather sophisticated. Death Stranding itself is due out on the PlayStation 4, followed by a PC release down the line, at some point. We don't have a release date for the game either. Probably the most anticipated upcoming PlayStation exclusive at the moment is The Last of Us Part 2, the sequel to Naughty Dog's Lightning in a Bottle 2013 hit. The game was originally announced at the PlayStation Experience last year, and while we haven't seen much of it since, the legions of fans of the original game are eagerly awaiting any news or information about the title. In the absence of that, some fans on Reddit have gone ahead and analyzed the teaser trailer for the game frame by frame to come to the conclusion that the game will be set in Seattle. They've compared images from the trailer to real-life Seattle locations and even done some map analyses. Of course, the original Last of Us was set in multiple locations, so while a part of Part 2 may be in Seattle, it's hugely unlikely the entire game will be, unless, of course, Naughty Dog decide to change the structure of the game. That said, they have followed the exact same structure for their titles since Uncharted Drake's Fortune in 2007, so that seems unlikely. The Last of Us Part 2 is due out exclusively on the PlayStation 4. As of right now, no release date is announced, and the soonest we can expect it to hit is probably late 2018. From Software's Dark Souls has basically created an entirely new genre in its wake. We've seen a spat of Souls-like attempts to emulate these games' structure and gameplay, including The Surge and Nioh. Now add another one to the list, Sinner: Sacrifice for Redemption, which received a gorgeous trailer. The game will follow a dead soldier who must take on 8 behemoths to try and save his soul. Each boss he fights, however, he'll have to sacrifice one of his statistics for the duration of the fight, making the battle that much harder. The gameplay trailer indicates the game has nailed the art style and general aesthetic. That said, it is unclear whether or not it'll be able to pull off the structure as well as From Software has repeatedly managed to do. It's due out for the Xbox One, PS4, and PC in early 2018. The Evil Within 2 promises to take the flawed but beloved foundation of the first game and to expand it further. Hopefully, we can expect a game that's more twisted and harrowing than the glimpses that the first game gave us at terror and horror. Today, we got a glimpse of some of that. Developers Tango Softworks and Bethesda have shared pictures of new, screaming paintings made by Stefano, a monstrosity we'll be encountering quite a bit over the course of the game. They are twisted and most disturbing, and also a bit unsettling to be honest. You can check them out for yourself on the screen unless you're queasy, in which case, don't? It might be best to stay away in that case. The Evil Within 2 releases on Friday the 13th in October, which is a killer release date to be honest for a game of this nature, on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Sony has seemingly become the villain on the larger issue of cross-platform play, a remarkable turnaround from just a few years prior when they were the champions of functionality. They've been preventing full cross-platform play from happening between PS4 and other consoles. They seem to be okay with PS4 and PC though. When even a company that is as traditionally conservative about online play as Nintendo seems to be on board with it. One of the games that seems to be suffering the most on PS4 as a result of Sony's stubbornness on this issue is Minecraft. At E3 this year, Microsoft announced a major update for Minecraft that brings full cross-platform play and parity for all versions of the game, also ensuring that all versions are now equal in graphical and other capabilities, thanks to computing being handled on the server end. It's a great update, and one of the largest exercises in cross-platform engagements ever, and yet Sony is sitting it out voluntarily. However, it looks like Microsoft has not given up on the cause. On a page dedicated to this upcoming update, Microsoft addressed the issue regarding PlayStation's participation in the Better Together update, saying, "While we are thrilled to be able to confirm the new version of Minecraft is coming to Nintendo Switch, we're still in discussions with Sony about PlayStation and have nothing to confirm. We would love to work with Sony to bring players on PlayStation 4 into this ecosystem as well. Everyone would be thrilled if it happened. Hopefully, Sony capitulates sooner rather than later. Microsoft's PC, Mac, iOS, Android, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch versions will all become a part of the Better Together ecosystem. Further versions are available on PS3, PS4, PS Vita, and Wii U, which will not be getting this update." That'll be it for this video. If you like what we're doing, please go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.